Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Cahill and welcome back to my channel. It has been a month, I say 2 weeks into the month of June. I randomly mention quite a lot of projects on my channel, and it sort of occurs to me quite often that most of you probably have no idea what any of these projects are. So today, in the spirit of June, because I'm currently working on this project, I thought it would be fun to gush/complain about my middle grade series, Abingdon House, because I can. And I'm gonna. For this, I'm going to be doing the work in progress tag, which I'm very excited. I don't actually think I've done this tag. I've done the currently writing tag before, but I don't think ever this specific one. So we're looking forward to it. I'm going to precursor this by saying that even though I'm working on book 3, this is most likely going to relate more to book 1 because I've written that and feel more comfortable talking about the entirety of the plot than I do, you know, the spoiler sequels that I have planned. Question 1. What is the working title of your book? Now, my book is not a book, my book is a series. It is a middle grade magical realism 5-book series because I hate myself that much. The working title of the series as a whole is the Abingdon House series, but for specifically book number 1, it is called The Trials of Abingdon House, and that is the first time I've ever said that title out loud in my entire life. Question 2. Where did the idea for the book come from? You know, I can't actually remember precisely how I came up with the story of Abingdon House. I actually can't remember. I knew I wanted to sort of subvert some sort of, oh, princess grew up normal and then discovers she's a princess and shock sort of thing. I wanted to have it in more of a modern day era, not Princess Diaries modern. No, we're not going for that. So I thought to myself, what if this girl was adopted and she had a grandmother who she didn't know existed, and the grandmother dies, and the grandmother just so happened to be in charge of like this great big powerful magical house that Hazel, who is the protagonist, now inherits, and she is the head of this magical house and she's 12 years old and crap. So that is sort of how the idea came about, and obviously it grew from there into there's 5 houses, not 1. The rest of the heads of the 4 houses don't want a 12-year-old, so they're like, we're going to give you some magical trials, and if you complete all 3 of them, yes, fine, we'll relent, and you can be the head of the house, but if you fail just 1, bye-bye, because they're so very sure that she's not going to pass all 3 of them. So then the entire book spun from there, and it's Hazel and her friends learning about this and then moving on and trying to complete these 3 trials in order for her to officially become the head of Abingdon House. Number 3, what genre does your book fall under? It falls under magical realism, if I am doing the magical realism correctly. It is the first time I'm doing magical realism. Usually I just stick with fantasy. But with this book, I sort of wanted to avoid the whole, oh, normal girl finds out she's part of a secret magical world that she has to keep secret from all of her friends sort of thing. Like, I didn't want to do that. That's been done to tears. So I was like, how can I avoid doing this? And I was like, magical realism. It's a world where magic already exists and people know it exists, and some people can use magic and some people can't use magic. And Hazel has grown up her entire life thinking that she can't use magic. And then she finds out she can. So we still have this whole, she's new to the world of magic, but magic is not new to the world. It's like someone doing physics for the first time. You know physics exists. But now you have to do the physics and learn the physics. It's sort of like that. Yeah, hopefully I am doing it correctly. I like to think of Abingdon House as the Inheritance Games meets Percy Jackson. Now, is it weird that I'm using both a YA and a middle grade title in order to relate more to the series of Abingdon House? Yes, it is a little bit, and also no, because Abingdon House very much toes the line between upper middle grade and lower YA. We start with Hazel, she is 12 years old, and over the course of the 5 books, it's 5 because I hate myself, we see her grow into a 16-year-old. So we very much grow up with Hazel, and sort of in the same vein of Harry Potter and Percy Jackson, we grow with these characters. We start with them at a very, very young age, and as each book passes, each year goes, and then the reader ends up going through life and these 5 years with these characters. They grow up with them, and that is very much something that I wanted for Abingdon House, because there's not enough upper middle grade or lower YA for that sort of middling age of around, you know, 13 to 15 sort of, for them to enjoy without being too low in middle grade or, you know, too mature for YA. And I really like the fact that these books can sort of give every, you know, child between those ages something to relate to. Number 4, actors for movie adaptation. Newcomers! They will be newcomers. Look, okay, all 3 of the main trio, Hazel and her 2 best friends, Archie and Sapphire, newcomers. I want newcomers that no one knows, so we can see them fresh and we can see them grow up. For the character of Vanessa, who is an Abingdon House bodyguard in training, I have Jenny Ortega, because she fits in my head to what Vanessa looks like. She's the face claim for Vanessa. She has been from the very beginning. She's the right age, so Jenny Ortega for Vanessa. And for Dana, who is the head bodyguard / Abingdon guardian for Hazel throughout the book, I would cast Kingston Faraday, who also happens to be the face claim for Dana. Because once again, while Kingston Faraday sort of is how I imagined Dana to be in my head, like, Kingston Faraday now embodies Dana. Those would be my actors for, you know, a movie adaptation. I'm not going to include all the other side characters, that would take too long, but for those main 5, they are who I would cast. Question 5, a 1-sentence synopsis. Damn. Upon learning she is the heir to Abingdon House, Hazel Cooper must complete 3 magical trials in order to rightfully claim her place. Does that work? I don't know if that works. That's as best as I can do. I hate 1-sentence synopsises, they suck ass. Number 6, self or traditionally publish. I always want to traditionally publish. Self-publishing just seems like a lot more hard work that I'm willing to put into actually getting my novels out there. Traditional publishing is difficult, and it does obviously have hard work as well, but I suck at the social media and I suck at marketing and self-marketing, and I don't have the funds to do all of the self-publishing stuff. So always 100% I will try traditionally publishing first. If that does not work down the line, eventually, yes, I will, I suppose, self-publish if I actually want to get my books out there, but definitely traditionally publishing first, because it's less work for me right now. Number 7, how long did it take for you to write the first draft? It took me 7 days to write the first draft for Abingdon number 1. And that was around 46,000 words. And then it took me another 30 or so days for me to bring that 0 draft up to a first draft of about 80,000 words. Abingdon number 2 took me 25 days to write a very bad 0 draft of maybe around 45,000 words. It doesn't take me very long at all, really, to write first drafts. If I put my mind to it, I do 99% of my drafting during NaNoWriMo or Camp NaNoWriMo. So I usually tend to get all my first drafts done in a month anyway. That's just how I work. The faster I can get the crap down on paper, the longer I have to sort of make it not crap anymore. That's the thinking that goes on in my head. It doesn't matter about the quality of my first draft. All that matters is the quality of the work that I put into it afterwards to make it better. Question number 8, who or what inspired this book? Lindsay Puckett. Look, did she inspire the plot or the characters or anything like that? No, she did not. But it's because of Lindsay that I wanted to try and write a middle grade in the first place. She posted a couple of videos about working on her middle grades, and I was like, that would be fun. Maybe I should try writing a middle grade just to see if I can do it. How different can it be? So is it her fault that I'm staring into the dark abyss of a 5-book behemoth that is slowly but surely overtaking every single part of my life? Yes, yes it is. Thanks, Lindsay. Also, I want more books for 12 to 15-year-olds that aren't really tiny middle grades or really, really mature YA. Just saying. And number 9, what are some other things that might pique your reader's interest? That depends on things that the readers might find interesting. It is a magical realism novel, so while magic does exist, so do all of the supernatural creatures. We have mermaids, we have dragons, we have werewolves and vampires, of course, because werewolves and vampires are everywhere, and I don't like them, but here they are in my book because sure, why not? I insisted, and I say insisted like I'm giving someone instructions to do something, that my cast be as diverse as possible. So Hazel is black, Safa is Moroccan and Muslim, Archie is Chinese mixed and he's a mermaid, Vanessa is Spanish, Dana is black and they're also non-binary and trans. There is epic magic, there is mystery, there is friendship, there is a half dragon who has a New York accent in my imagination. It's basically just a lot of fun to be had, and I'm very, very excited for not only the first book, which is mostly what you've heard about today, but for the entire 5-book series I'm sort of dedicating this year of 2021 into bringing to life. Because I feel like it's a sort of book that kids need nowadays to sort of keep their interest in reading as they move from middle grade up until YA, because everyone needs books that they can relate to, and everybody needs to be able to see people like them in media. And hopefully, if I do it all correctly, Abingdon House is the book that I'm creating in order to do that. Look at me gush about my book that's slowly taking over my life. I see it in my dreams and my nightmares. That is me talking / gushing / complaining about my middle grade series, Abingdon House. More so the first book in the series, The Trials of Abingdon House. Let me know down in the comments below, do you have face claims for any of the characters in your novels? What book are you currently working on at the moment that you are excited about? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Good thoughts and happy writing.